What is up, guys? So I was finally able to get my hands on the LG V50 ThinQ 5G here. So this is an awesome flagship smartphone, and at the price compared to the other flagship smartphones, this is just a great value. So you can find this phone, I got this one off of eBay for around 500 bucks. Now today we're just going to be looking at the phone itself. I do have the dual screen case coming, but that is going to be an extra $100. So if you want it brand new, this phone will cost you around 700 to 800 bucks. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the hardware here. So you have just a massive phone here. It is a very big phone. It's a glass and metal sandwich phone, and the design looks pretty nice, pretty similar to the LG V50. Now they got rid of the flat camera design. You do have like a little bump now, but it pretty much looks exactly like the LG V50. The same setup. You have your same Google Assistant button on the left hand side. The headphone jack is still there with the quad DAC, which is a big reason why this is going to be a very popular phone, because if you're serious about audio, this is going to be great. You got your stereo speakers on here as well as USB Type-C. Now the phone is a little bit heavy, definitely, but still not super heavy to where it's uncomfortable, but it just has a very premium feel to it. It's just a really nice feeling phone here. So when we turn the phone around, we're greeted by a massive 6.8-inch display. So it is a very big display, which is something that I really appreciate. Now it is a POLED display, and it's a 1080p plus display, 395 for the PPI. So that right there itself is very interesting. So there's no 90 hertz, and they dropped the resolution from 1440p to 1080p here. So obviously, as somebody that really loves, high resolution phones, this was a pretty good move. I got used to it really fast. The OLED display quality is still there. The punchy colors are still there, and also the notch is smaller than on the V50 now. So now you just have a little water drop notch. So yeah, I kind of missed the 1440p, but this does make up for it in other areas, like having the massive 5000 milliamp battery to benefit off that. You have the Snapdragon 865 and the 5G, which consume a lot of power, so it does make sense. And if you honestly think about it, most of these phones aren't able to run the 90 hertz or 120 hertz at 1440p anyway. They're on 1080p, just like the Galaxy S20 Plus. So they were supposed to fix that, but they didn't. So it's not a big deal to me. So for all my resolution lovers, this isn't a huge blow, really. Now this phone does still keep the IP68 dust and water resistant, which is really nice. So you can get this phone wet, no problem. Now this phone comes with Android 10, and again, this is the same version of Android 10 with LG's very minimal skin on top of here. It's basically stock Android, as you can see, very fast. They don't really add a whole bunch to it, as we know. All your essential stuff is still on here. Your screen recording, dark mode, Google Now is on here. So basically like stock Android, and the experience is very smooth. You have very smooth gestures on here as well, which is really nice. So overall, just flying in between applications, multitasking is really great on this phone, because you have the Snapdragon 865 and Adreno 650. Basically, I will put the gaming test out, but this will pretty much blow through anything you play. It is no joke when it comes to power. This is still a very powerful phone, so any game you want to throw at it is going to be awesome, especially if you have that dual screen case. In my opinion, this makes it one of the best gaming phones, to be honest, because once you have that dual screen case, you can take advantage of the games that are compatible with it, and you can sort of use it like a Nintendo DS or something like that. It is really nice. So I wonder why gamers don't really look at this phone. It really makes a lot of sense. This phone also has micro SD support. In the base model is 128 gigs of internal storage and 8 gigs of RAM on here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut and let you actually hear these stereo speakers, because they are really excellent quality. Alright, so now I want to show you guys the audio quality on here. So you have stereo speakers, and they just sound really great. So let me go ahead and play it for you. It is just really nice, very crystal clear. the highs and mids. You have a nice bass presence. It is just a very awesome speaker here. So I'm really impressed as always with LG's audio quality on their phone. Just to talk about some additional features on here, you do have NFC as well as the under display fingerprint scanner, which again is very fast. I heard some complaints about it, but I don't see the complaints really with this. It works extremely fast, just as fast as on the 7 Pro. In my opinion, faster than the Galaxy S20 Plus that I had. So it was really nice, very spot on. So no issues there. This phone, oddly enough, does not have a facial recognition at all. So you do not have that option on here. So a little strange, but again, the fingerprint scanner is very fast. So it wasn't a huge miss. And also, I cannot stress enough how awesome the audio experience is on here with the quad DAC. So again, one of the rare phones that have a headphone jack that is a flagship phone. So if you don't know what the quad DAC is, basically if you have good wired headphones, you would be able to get the best sound quality out of your smartphone with this phone. So it is just excellent quality. Now let's go ahead and talk about the cameras on here. So you have a 64 megapixel standard, a 13 megapixel ultra wide, and then you have a 0.3 megapixel TOF 3D depth sensor on here. Now this phone actually has 8K video recording as well, which is pretty crazy. So if you want to do that, that is doable on here. It's just going to take up a whole bunch of space. It's like 600 megabytes per minute, so you do need a micro SD card. And you do have a selfie camera up front, and as you can see from these photos, it's taking some beautiful photos. I still think LG has the best color science out of Apple and even Samsung. You get very realistic lifelike colors. As we know with those phones, it gives you very oversaturated colors with these Samsungs and iPhones that aren't realistic. This is just beautiful and true to life. It's something that I really love. So depth of field is there, color accuracy again is there, dynamic range is beautiful, just beautiful photos as you can see here. Now standard video on here is really great as well, as you can see, but I was really impressed with the front facing video as well as the microphone. I thought the quality was pretty good, so I'll go ahead and cut to that and let you hear it actually. It's the front facing video, so let me know what you guys think about the audio quality. It looks pretty good so far, so I'm really impressed with this front facing camera. Skin tones seem to be very accurate as well as always with these LG smartphones. So again, let me know what you guys think. So overall, just excellent camera. So I do want to touch on the dual screen case, even though I don't have one yet, but basically what the dual screen case is, it's pretty much for a power user. So if you're really into multitasking and just gaming on your phone, then this is going to be really a perfect phone for you. So let's say you're on Instagram and you want to play a game at the same time, then you have true multitasking on your phone, not split screen or in picture multitasking. This is true multitasking, and the same thing goes for compatible games. If you want to play a game, you can have 2 games running at the same time, I've seen, or even you can set it up like a Nintendo DS and play it. So this is just a powerful phone for the price, which is pretty crazy. Now let's talk about the battery situation. So you have a 5,000 milliamp battery with wireless charging as well. So basically the battery situation differs. So if you're on 5G, from what I'm seeing, that you're gonna lose a little bit more battery life because it's gonna be draining more power. But if you're on just a regular network, this phone, I've seen drain tests of it going up to around 11 to 12 hours of screen on time, and it does differ if you're using the dual screen case. So the dual screen case does suck a battery life from the phone, so you will get around, from what I'm seeing, 7 to 8 hours of screen on time. So basically if you're coming from the V50, V40, or any LG, this is going to have the best battery life out of all of those phones if it's just on the standalone battery life without the 5G. So it is really amazing battery life on here. So we will be comparing this phone to all of my LG smartphones, so please do subscribe if you want to see that, and I will catch you guys in the next one.